So, Mario Kart Double Dash. I've liked this quite a lot. Probably not my favourite, if I'm honest. I will mainly be having it on the footage, so you won't have to look at my ugly mug. But I've liked Mario Kart for a long time. My favourite is probably still, I know this is going to be quite bland and boring to say, but it's quite possibly Mario Kart 64. I played more of that than any of the other games, to be honest. There was something about the 64 version. I'm not that personally enamoured with and I know a lot of people will say that's sacrilege to say, with the original SNES one. Not because I think it's a bad game or anything, I never had a SNES, I had a Mega Drive, so I never really got to sort of appreciate Nintendo until the, oh god, I forgot the controls. What are the controls again? From the, since the first Nintendo system I ever got was the N64 back in, I think it was 97, I think it was. And that just absolutely sold me on a lot of stuff on Nintendo. Not everything, because they do have some pretty backwards practices on quite a few things, if I'm honest. But, oh god. But not. But yeah, Nintendo are a weird company, both a good way and a bad way. They make bizarrely odd decisions at times, but they do create some fantastic franchise. I'm not a massive fan of the 3D platform Mario games these days as much. Last one I really enjoyed was probably Mario 64. But I've got quite a bit of experience with Mario Kart. The N64 game, I played it. I never owned it. It's one I still want to get my hands on one day. But it is one of those games that sort of it was very popular in the N64, and obviously being the first 3D title. But I think Double Dash is one of, god damn it, is one of the. I'm not very good at this, by the way, as you can see. But Double Dash is one of those that I think is probably. I mean, I could be wrong, but I would say it's probably a fan favourite, to be honest, out of all the Mario Karts out there. Obviously, I'll see what Mario Kart World is like. I have been told that it's not a bad game, but it's also not the most amazing, and this is not going well. Oh no! When I get fourth, I got fourth. That was awful. So my time spent playing Mario Kart 64 was extensive. And it was one of those that didn't require the expansion pack either, which was always handy because there's certain games that I never had the expansion pack for me on 64. And that is another video I'm actually looking to work on, is getting an adapter that gives me better video quality for the N64, because the N64, as I've said before, just looks janky and crap on a big screen. This is running through a HDMI, is it Prism adapter? So I'm getting a digital out on this, and it's hooked up to my. It's actually hooked up to my computer, on my Elgato device, and then it goes out to the splitter, which goes to the TV. Yeah, GameCube, as I've said, like the games are quite expensive on it at times. They really are, depending on what it is. This is not that expensive. I think this was about 28 quid or something, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that expensive. But GameCube is one that it does get very expensive very quickly. But yeah, with Double Dash, I think it's one I picked up second hand back in the day. Obviously in the UK, we don't have, well, it's like everywhere I think nowadays, is that we don't have a lot, Jesus Lord, of game shops left. We've got Game, which is essentially dead. They're just literally in the Sports Direct shops now, which is quite sad. And we've got CX, that's literally it. I mean, we've got Smith's Toy Store, I guess, but anything else, like, I'm just gonna, quite frankly, Amazon it. It's just generally easier a lot of the time. We did have Game Station back in the day, but they were another second-hand store that sort of sadly disappeared. They were also ironically owned by Game, so gaming has become. It's still amazing, but it's very much, in terms of the state of the industry, in terms of like from the consumer standpoint, like it is pretty poor now, to be honest. There's not a lot of options. Obviously, you know, online. Ironically, from what I was reading, is it the US where they were having problems getting physical copies of Resident Evil Requiem, which is kind of weird. I never really had. Well, I got mine off Amazon, physically. Well, physical sale off Amazon. Sorry, physical disc. Sorry, and but I I don't. I suppose I haven't really looked around at the shops to see if, because physical is sort of disappearing, but apparently it's also on the comeback. Apparently a lot of Gen Z are sort of um, going back to like collecting DVDs and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Um, I hope it continues because I do think there's a place for physical media. I think there'll always be a place for physical media for a long, long time. And I just think I like physical. Don't get me wrong. Like this Mario Kart I've got coming is it's a digital one, so it's a digital code for, and I think it's like 50 something pound I think for a physical copy of it. But I don't know. A lot of people say about the game key cards and saying like, I mean I don't like the idea of it if I'm honest, but as a lot of people have already said, like honestly, I don't. It is kind of the future, as much as I hate to admit that. I mean, I'm already physical on Steam, digital on. Oh god damn it, on Steam anyway. So I think there's a lot of rubber banding on Mario Kart, if I remember correctly, as well, on Steam anyway. So maybe it's something I should just accept. I suppose the question sort of becomes though is that when the Nintendo eShop closes down inevitably at some point on Switch and Switch 2 and whatever else, whatever iteration comes out at that point, once that store's not around anymore, are you going to be able to use them anymore or not? Because it's got me, god damn it, it's got me questioning things, I must admit. Oh, I'm not doing well in this. I'm doing dreadful in this. This is an embarrassment. But yeah, so I really don't know where it's going to go with physical stuff, with certain disc-based media now. I do think, I have no way I'm going to win this. I do think there's a place for it. Obviously, Steam stuff is just completely digital. But I should really actually start talking about Mario Kart, shouldn't I? I've been sort of talking about everything but Mario Kart. But these kind of videos, I haven't really sort of really scripted these type of videos. I've just sort of tried to. One of my comments, someone says you're reasonably natural when it comes to talking about this sort of stuff. I am, but like I'm still trying to get used to the whole camera thing, being in front of a camera. Obviously, in this one, not quite as in front of the camera as much. But I am sort of trying to make effort, particularly with my Resident Evil video. I did put in quite a bit of effort that to try and sort of see if I can gauge a bit of interest in it, because I really don't. I do tend to sort of garble on about sometimes when it comes to stuff like do not hit me, god damn it. Yeah, I mean, as we talked about before, with like nostalgia is a very powerful thing. It can get a bit old at times. Even I'm starting to realise that more and more now. Obviously with my recent Resident Evil pickups and stuff, RE2 and RE3. In fact, I've just actually sold an RE2 platinum version. Oh, he's going to get hit. Platinum version of the game. Basically, because I've already got it, a black label of it, so I don't. Oh god damn it! So I don't really need 2 copies of it. It's interesting. There are people though that seem to buy more than 1 copy, just one as a sealed copy and 1 to keep. Obviously on the more modern stuff. So, but I'm not really that type of collector. God, I'm really sucking at this. But yeah, so I've played through this I think once recently. It's been at least, it must be more than 15 to 20 years since I've properly really played through this. And there is a lot of rubber banding on this. From I don't know if can you drift on this one? I don't remember if you can. A lot of people's favourite, from my understanding more so nowadays, is Mario Kart Wii. I've played Mario Kart 8. I think I played it with my brother. I think he emulated it on his PC. And I know it's not something you should really say on Nintendo when it comes to emulation, because they're let's just say they're not exactly big fans of it. But yeah, it was a good emulation. It ran well. It was I think it was supposedly based on the Wii U version at the time. Wow, that was dreadful for me. Um, yeah, so but I mean, you can obviously get it on Wii U. I mean, hell, if you ain't got the money, you emulate it, don't you? That's just how it is. Especially now, a lot of people sort of drop in subscription fees and stuff. Third, that's awful. But I do. Some people say the GameCube's overrated. I think it's underrated. I mean, it's become probably more overrated, I suppose, now, just because more and more people have sort of gravitated towards it. Let's play Luigi and Mario again. Yeah, we'll go for one with less weight. We'll try the Flower Cup. I'll probably even worse on this one. I'm 150cc though, so this is the harder version to be sort of playing anyway. Harder difficulty as such. But yeah, so I'm very, very curious where Nintendo are going to take things when it comes to a lot of their franchises. Obviously, I think Mario Kart World has got some sort of free roaming zone on it or something. So I think that's one I'll probably have to find some friends. I don't really know many people that have got a Switch 2. No, in fact, I don't. My brother's my brother's stepson's got one, I believe, and he's like he's like I think like 8. Oh no, 10. So, but yeah, I'm quite curious because with Nintendo, what they're gonna do. God damn it, no! I'm very, very interested what they're gonna do with Zelda, where they're gonna take that, and obviously the performance enhancements will be quite handy with certain games. Obviously, you have to pay for certain. I think Tears is like an £8 upgrade unless I want unless I get it physically, which maybe at some point. I'm not in any rush at the moment in time, but or I think it's like £8 digitally for the 4K. Oh god damn it! For the 4K upres. And obviously the new Switch 2 screen has got it's got 120 Hz refresh rate on it, which is kind of cool. But god damn it! From what I've been told, though, the refresh the VVR rate on it isn't that great, or it only works when it's in handheld mode or docked mode. I can't remember off the top of what it was they said, but it's interesting nonetheless. You ain't getting me, not a chance. Just give me a speed boost. That's all I ask. Just give me a speed boost. Oh, that's awful. I'm gonna have to call this "I suck at Mario Kart Double Dash" because this is dreadful. Maybe we can pull it back. It's possible. But yeah, I've had Nintendo with Mario Kart. I've had quite a lot of fun with Mario Kart. I really want to get a copy on the N64 of Mario Kart 64. It's like £34, I think, or something. But the thing about it is that I think the more I've been collecting, I've picked up the bad habit, and I think a lot of people are guilty of this, is of collecting things and wanting the cardboard. So the manual, the box, and the thing about N64, a lot of Nintendo stuff, in fact, is that the cardboard doesn't last. It just it breaks, and a lot of people end up throwing it away. I've only got Zelda, and that's crumpled to hell, and not in good condition. That's the collector's edition of Ocarina of Time, the gold cartridge one, and it's really, really good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the fact that I didn't look after it as a child. It's not something you really do you don't really think about it at that point. But so collecting cardboard, that's kind of where a lot of the expense comes from this sort of stuff. It's not necessarily always the games, although there are a lot that are expensive. A lot tend to be sort of very, very sort of pricey, just if you want like a manual and then a box with it. which, you know, I'm looking at, as I said, I'm still looking at Chaos Engine and that's like 79, 80 quid. And you can't, oh damn it, you can't really find many copies of it on Mega Drive. It's on SNES as well. In the US, I believe it's called Soldier of Fortune. And I've got it digitally on Steam, but, you know, I really, really want a copy for... How has he pushed past me so easily? Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, so... Oh, no, he's got a shell? Oh, that's how you drift. I'm an idiot, so you can use the triggers to drift. I'm an idiot. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, go, go, go! I'm gonna have him, I'm gonna have him, I'm gonna have him! Come on, come on, no! God damn it. Rubber banding, man. Rubber banding. It's a bane of existence when it comes to Mario Kart. But the GameCube, is... I think the Wii is the cheapest system to collect for now, I would probably say. And the DS stuff is quite decent as well. Barring, obviously, Pokemon games, Castlevania games. Well, there is a new Castlevania coming out. And I've got to put some time down to actually sit and play. That was awful. The Castlevania... I've got collections on, is it PS5 and PS4? Is it the first two? I think it's the DS one and the... Is it the Advanced Collection, and I think one of them's the DS Collection. But it'd be nice. I know there is one others. There's one. I think, is it more based on the Game Boy Advance games, or might be misremembering? I've played through one of them where I wanted to put my head through a wall. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. And that was the hardest one. Well, maybe not the hardest one, but the one that drove me at the wall was Castlevania 3, and luckily I had the ability to save it any time I wanted, because it was stop hitting me. I'm being absolutely douched on this. It's a weird word. Okay, you've had it. And it was really, really good. It was Castlevania 3, which I think is like... I don't think it's the earliest one in the timeline, but I think it is... I think there's some PS2 games that are earlier in the timeline than that. In the sort of the lore of Castlevania. But it's really, really good. But it was really, really hard at the same time. Oh, many bananas! Lord almighty. Okay. I'm going to try and get rid of these guys. If I can hold 4, that'd be a miracle. Final lap. Come on. So yeah, so it's just, there's too many games and just not really enough time. I've just finished Resident Evil Requiem, and that's fantastic. I have done a video on that, talking about my experience with it. I've only done one playthrough so far. I'm going to go back and do another one at some point. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's oh, you saw it. It's all the sort of the hell. It's the sort of... I wouldn't say it's the best Resident Evil game, but I would say it's definitely up there. It's excellent. The story's wacky as always. Stop doing that! Oh man, I've got 5th. Oh, I'm awful at this. Oh my god, my teenage self would be slapping me right now. No, in fact, it'd be punching me. But yeah, it was a fantastic experience all the way through. I enjoyed every minute of it. The horror, and then the mix up with the action with Leon's parts. But it's done in a good way, unlike... Well, better than Resident Evil 6, let's just put it that way, and that's a game I have to actually, at some point, properly actually sit down and play. Because I've only played the demo for it, and I wasn't that impressed. But it's something I really do need to play at some point. I think this is Wario Stadium. Whoa, that was that cleaned out. I think if I can get some practice in this, I might actually get good at it. But I'm quite curious because I've never played a proper... The most modern Mario Kart I played was 8, and that wasn't online. That was just obviously... Oh, you twat! just through emulation on a PC. So no, sorry, did I play? I might have played a bit on Wii actually at some point. But there were a lot of people like doing the time trials, like getting the world records, and they were cheating like crazy. Absolutely, there was a lot of hacks and stuff going on, and just general. I presume people that have played the game for thousands and thousands of hours. I'm assuming because oh god damn it. Right, let's see if we can get ahead of people. Oh, you are kidding me, right? I could have made distance there. And instead I got screwed. I don't think I've come first in any race as of yet. This would be nice to... Gotcha. No! Oh, damn it. But no, so I've played a lot of Mario Kart like a lot of people have, but I haven't been sort of as hyper focused on it these days. It was more of a game you played with your mates and stuff, and obviously the older you get, you don't really necessarily, one, have the time, and two, sort of, I tend to find I play more games, probably single player stuff these days, though I have been looking at everyone keeps going on about Crimson. Is it Crimson Desert? Which looks kind of interesting. I'm not really one for those types of games, but I have been playing. Oh, you son of a! That was unfair. No. Oh, that's ball. That's ball. Right, that's ball. Oh, what? Okay. What was it? A JRPG. Was it Dragon Quest on PS5, the demo? I've been trying to get into some of these JRPGs because I like things like I said, like Pokemon. I'm playing through Fire Red on Switch and it's really really good. Oh, that's dreadful. Well, I'm not gonna. Let's try one more replay on that one. And it's fantastic, but I'm looking for something that's like that, but a little bit more advanced and a little bit more Oh no, I don't want to watch the replay. No, I thought it was a. Okay, now let's. I've hit the same thing twice. Great. Yeah, but I'm looking for something a bit more challenging than the Pokemon. To some degree, is challenging. The older games, the newer stuff like Sword and Shield and onwards, like it's quite frankly rotten. In terms of the let's go light characters. It tends to be sort of. It's just too easy, the newest, the more modern stuff. But I really, really like the old stuff. I've yet to play sort of black and white. I'm still looking at them at some point. But there's old games. It's just something they've got there's a level of challenge to them you just don't have with the modern stuff. So I will be playing through that at some point. It's just having time. Obviously, I work like as most people. I don't do this. I'd love to do this as a job, but that requires a lot of subs and a lot of time and a lot of time and effort and obviously being interesting. I'm not the most interesting when it comes to talking about this stuff, if I'm honest. I've got a passion for it, but I'd love to do it as a job, but unfortunately, not everyone can do that sort of stuff. I think that's most people that do this. I think they thoroughly enjoy this sort of stuff. It's kind of there's a kind of relaxing element to kind of talking to yourself, if that doesn't sound completely mental, but there is a sort of there's a kind of therapy to it, which is kind of slightly insane, I guess, in a way. It I've done I think I've done like 600 videos. God, I suck at this royally, man. And I've had a lot of fun over the years. I've been doing this since 13. I started this channel with my brother, and he kind of lost interest to some degree, which I can understand. It's not, but I tend to follow the industry into what is that the biggest banana I've ever seen. No, you don't. And there's just there's a lot to it. I think everyone's trying to do this kind of type of content and different stuff. I obviously started with Let's Plays and stuff, and the more of it I did, the more I started to realise it's not really the thing to really be doing. It's some people do well with it. You've got to have a really good sort of base and consistency with that sort of stuff. And I am getting worse by the day with each game, with each track. It's a beautiful day in the UK today. It's like 13, 14 degrees out there, which for the UK, that is dreadful. For the UK is incredible. We barely see anything above 10 degrees at the moment. So that has been sort of nice to see. I got a good start for once. Let's see if I can actually turn it into something. Gotcha. I don't know if I've ever played this track before. Did I just go the wrong way? It's possible I went the wrong way. No, I didn't. I took the long route, it would appear. Get him, get him! No, didn't get him. Oh no! Oh man! Rubber! Oh, come on! Oh. Nope. Really? I forgot how difficult these Mario Kart games actually are. Absolutely unforgiving. That's what I want all the time. I want that, and I never seem to get it. I never seem to get mushrooms that give me enough of a boost to get anywhere. Or I get screwed over at the last second. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. Get him. Yes, yes. Ooh. Kind of want the... my favourite tracks are probably still the N64 game. There is something about the tracks on that particular game. Bowser's Castle especially. Moo Moo Farm is one that always sort of comes to my mind. Really? I lost everything then. Everything. How many bananas can you put on the road at once? Oh, it's absolutely chaotic, this is. Absolutely chaotic. Oh man, this is getting bad. Jesus Lord. Oh, I'm a disgrace, the game is everywhere. Good grief. I'm not even in the running for third, am I? My word. I might edit this. Just can't get a good start either. I've had one boost start like these entire games. What the hell is that? Oh, this is different. I don't recall this. There's a game I used to play on Mega Drive. I think it was on everything. It was on SNES. It was also on PlayStation 1 and possibly Sega Saturn. It was called Street Racer. And you picked a character and there was different characters, and you could do different things to your different abilities to take other people out while racing and stuff. There was like a sumo guy. There was a Indian dude that could like fly and stuff. That kind of stuff. Not that cultural sensitivities like today, but it was really really good. It was good fun. It's very cheap as well. I mean, it's not a it's not a particularly expensive one. It's like 10, 15, 20 quid, I think. So I always remember that as another racing game I played, particularly sort of more kart racing. I must be thinking of it must be Mario Kart 64, because I'm thinking of when you get the mushroom one. I think it's that one. you can keep hitting it, or is it the Wii one? I can't remember. It's one of them where you can keep hitting the mushroom, and you can go dead fast from it, and you can just keep hitting it, and it lasts a good 10-15 seconds. It's really, really cool. I really have shown myself up on this one, though. Come on. Give me a decent play. Oh, you son of a... I know there are some shortcuts as well, but I have no idea what the shortcuts are on this particular version. Alright, that gets rid of him. No, no! Oh! That took set first and second out of the equation, but it's just whether or not I can actually pick up the pace. No, I'm not going to. There's no way. No way. God, I'm dog shit at this. I need to start using the drift. How did I miss all of them? Oh, as if. This looks a bit like, well, I've lost this, that's for sure. This level looks, the water on this looks a bit like Wind Waker. Where were you at the beginning of the... Oh my word. This is embarrassing on a level you would not believe. Good grief. Well, I'm not going to be unlocking anything at 150cc, are we? I think I'm going to have to reduce it down to 100, I think, to even have a chance of making any progress in this game whatsoever. Right, let's see if we can actually start doing some drifting. Drift. Oh, you don't get a boost on this either. On some of the other games, you get a boost when you drift, if my memory serves correctly. GameCube and PS2, although some PS2 games do look very, very grey by today's standards, and even original Xbox, but they do still hold up quite well game-wise, depending on the game, obviously. But they do look pretty good, a lot of them. It is kind of the generation that sort of that's really has sort of cemented itself, depending on your age, obviously. I mean, I turned 40 last year, December, so for me this is kind of like, I guess you'd say peak gaming in terms of the stuff that came out. I mean, I have a fondness for the Mega Drive generation, although I do find myself, when I'm looking at games, like, oh, I'll get that, I'll pick up a game. I was looking at Tasmania, and then I looked at the gameplay and I was like, it looked like a decent game, and the gameplay footage showed it off, and it looked good. But at the same time, I was sat there thinking, well, I want something. I enjoy those more simplistic games, but I want something that's a little bit deeper, that's going to sort of keep me sort of engaged for quite a while. I mean, I'm not one for live service games. I know a lot of people say, well, just get a live service game, but they don't honestly do me I don't really tend to get into a lot of live service games, again, because I don't have a lot of friends. But I do sort of like the idea of some of them, and the concepts. But so I was looking at that, I thought, it just looks, very, very... The gameplay is very, very simple. You jump platforms, which I suppose is what things like Sonic are, and I adore Sonic and Mario, those early games in particular. But that's why I've been trying to look at these JRPGs, because I want something that's going to fulfill that itch, and Pokemon always does that for me when it comes to like JRPG type stuff, which is kind of bizarre, so because they are all very much the same in terms of, obviously they do have sort of different... No! Oh, you twat! Different mechanics and stuff. Stuff. Oh, I got a second. Miraculous. But yeah, so it's not going to help, or will it help? Will it help at all? No, it won't. You're an embarrassment. But yeah, I think we'll try 100cc, because 50cc is not going my way at all. So I'll do one more raving on and let's go. Yeah, let's do that again. Yeah, we'll do the mushroom cup again. Easier difficulty. Maybe we'll actually make some progress. But yeah, so it's just I don't know. There's a few of them out there. You know, I was looking at I think it was not Desert Strike. The Soviet Strike and Nuclear Strike on PS1 and Sega Saturn, and also Road Rash. I've played the first two, but I've never played 3 and they did 3D ones after that as well. For some reason, I just never played them. It's a weird time when you're a teenager. Like your interests sort of change a lot. Oh my god, massive banana. Alright, this is substantially easier at 100cc than 50cc as he crashes into a banana. Oop. You're mine, Donkey Kong. I think this might have some of the best track. Oh, you son of a. Right, fall that you haven't not. Gotcha. Uh-oh, someone shot something. Come on, let's make some progress. Come. Oh, we've got some distance. Oh man, the difference in difficulty between 100cc and 50cc. Another banana on your face. The only thing I would say with Nintendo is it would be great if they introduced. I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, how much work? It probably is a lot of work to create a. Why are they going the other way? To create an achievement type system. I know obviously Xbox has it and PlayStation has it, and obviously Nintendo do things to the beat of their own drum. But I think that'd be kind of cool to see them do something like that. Obviously, they are more of a hardware company than like a software company like Microsoft with Xbox. Although whether or not Xbox will be around, I don't know. As I said, I keep looking at about selling the Series X. I'm just not sure yet. Because I think they're going to be dropping, that's going to get dropped soon in terms of the software updates for it and any games that are coming out. But I'm sat there thinking, well, I don't have much of a digital library for it. Most of the digital library stuff I've got is all Xbox 360 stuff. So I'm just sat there thinking, is it worth it? Is it worth it? That was my original idea, was to sell it and then buy a Switch 2 that way. And I haven't quite decided yet. I'm still and on about it. I haven't switched it on in just to test it. I've not switched it on in about 6 months, and that's not because I think Xbox is necessarily crap, but I just think they've kind of destroyed their brand by making everything non-exclusive. If you haven't got exclusives, I just don't. There's no reason to have your system. Now they may change that and go back because everything's an Xbox. That ad has now disappeared. So I don't know what that. Oh, hello. I don't know what that means for the future for Xbox, but I do think they need to go back to exclusives in order to have any chance of people buying even remotely looking at the system, because it's going to be expensive. If the rumours of 1,200 something USD are correct, then you're talking over £1,000, and given the fact that UK currently is politically and financially absolutely fucked under this current, well, I mean, we're not getting too political, but I would call this current government, one, utterly useless, and two, they're basically communists. They're just not very good at it. But that's my opinion on it anyway. So I guess we'll see where that plays out. But yeah, Xbox, like, I don't know what the future's going to bring for them, because if they don't, I think Sharma, the new CEO, I think the name is Asha Sharma, I think she's gonna pivot back. But I don't see how you can pivot back once you've moved everything from their platform. Even Fable is going to PS5, so you'll probably find stuff hitting Switch too. Although the thing they're talking about is with Nintendo, they're not giving out dev kits to certain companies for some reason, or there's a delay on giving up dev kits. As to why that is, I'm not really sure. I do really like the setup for this though. The way I've got it set up now, it's seamless. I can see the recording. I haven't got to mess about and stuff as much, and it just looks a lot nicer and cleaner. Man, this is so much easier at 100cc. I could close my eyes and play this. It's so easy, but at 150, it's just mental. But yes, I just don't know what the future's going to bring for Xbox as a company. I just don't know. Because, as I said before, they're not that well liked, as in Xbox is, to some degree. But if you say Microsoft, not so much. And obviously with the AI companies currently destroying everyone's industry as they gobble up every... Well, one of the rumours I've heard is that is coming to an end this year. Now, I don't know if that's true. A lot of people say, oh, it's going to be 2030. But apparently a lot of these companies are getting quite antsy now with they can't meet the memory demands that they need. So if you're planning to build a PC, I'd hold off and wait unless you've got some spare DDR5 RAM, or even, hell, even DDR3 is becoming something people are going back to now, just to build older systems. Because you can still build pretty decent systems if you're even... No! God damn it. If you're even just trying to build a budget rig, something really budget, you know, something where you're running something like a... Hell, let's go all the way back to maybe GTX 10 series or RX 580s and stuff like that. I mean, I'm lucky enough that last year I picked up a 970 XT to replace my aging, although it was a good card, my aging 3060 Ti. And the only reason I got that is I couldn't get 3070 at the time because the prices during COVID were absurd. But yeah, it just sort of, it is very much dependent. Obviously, the other thing is they're talking about Nintendo's prices with the Switch going up, particularly, well, Switch 1 already had a price increase, but Switch 2, and I'm sat there thinking, well, Jesus, you'll either have to lump the money and pay it, or, you know what I mean? So it's not a good time really for a lot of this stuff, if I'm honest. But everything's getting more expensive. Absolutely everything. Food. The UK, our fuel bills have gone through the bloody roof. Electric, gas, we're getting ripped off left, right, and centre on that. As I said, fuel, diesel prices. I mean, they're even, you know, all the electric car revolution crap they're going on about. That's also happening. They're charging for that now as well. You know, the road tax. You have to pay for electric cars now as well. So it's just everything. Yeah, absolutely everything. I think that's one of the reasons why I like to go back and play this old stuff, because I just feel like if I go back to the early 2000s or the late 90s, like, it wasn't a perfect time, you know, but one, I was an early-ish teenager, so I didn't give a crap about this real world stuff. So it's just sometimes it's psychologically it's a good thing to sort of play this older stuff. You can enjoy something, you get the full game, it runs, you haven't got, oh, it's a bug, it needs patching or something. I found last game I had that needed patching was Space Marine, Jesus Lord, Space Marine 2. That had a bug where I couldn't progress because the ammo boxes were off the ground, so I couldn't pick it up. So I didn't play that for a couple of months because it was impossible to play it because I couldn't beat the mission, which was I had to defend what was it? Oh, god damn it! I had to defend a lift. I think a lift you have to go up, or something, if I remember correctly. That's been patched since, but you just didn't have those sort of issues with more modern games. And to be honest with you, like Space Marine 2, barring that issue, is a fantastic modern game. There is a lot that are. It just depends what your interests are and stuff. But I've been enjoying a lot of some of these JRPGs. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Remake is more of an action RPG than an action JRPG. But people have told me to play the older games, particularly obviously 7, and 8 seems to get quite a lot of love, and also is it 10? Yeah, I think it's 10. That was the other one. The only other one I've actually played in the Final Fantasy series is is it Lightning? Is it Final Fantasy 13, the one with Lightning? And I didn't find the combat system that interesting, if I'm honest. I found it quite boring and bland. But that was through the Series X, which is backwards compat. So I'm sat there thinking, as I said, do I sell it or do I keep it for backwards compat? Because there'll still be modern games coming out in it, but they're talking about, I believe, next year development kits for, is it Heliox or something like that is coming out. So that is, I mean, they'll keep Series X around for a while, but that is going to kind of make the Series X and the Series S, which kind of redundant in some ways. Obviously, they'll keep these older generations around. Same with PS5 when PS6 comes out. Hey, you've got a new buggy. I'll play one more, I think. 100cc, I recommend that to everyone. If you're not good at the game, go 100cc. No. Go Yoshi. And little baby Luigi. Oh, okay. We will go Flower Cup. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope, as I said before, though, that they'll things will improve and people can actually afford to buy stuff. And you look at subscription fees, they seem to be sort of dying on their arse a bit right now because nobody's willing to fork out. You know, like Netflix, I think that's like $18.99 in the UK for a full Ultra HD package and stuff. I'm like, Jesus, when did it get so expensive? Obviously, Netflix pulled out of the God damn it, the deal with was it Warner Bros? I think Paramount picked them up, I think, instead. And I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's too much choice nowadays for everything. There's just too much. You know, you need 6 or 7 different lifetimes to literally play all this stuff, watch all this content before your time is up. You know what I mean? Whereas in the old days, like in the 90s and the early 90s and the early 2000s, you had stuff, but it wasn't to the same degree. There wasn't the wealth of content you got, and sometimes that was a pain in the ass, but in other times it was actually quite good because it gave you time to actually play this stuff or watch this stuff, films, cinema, music, whatever it may be. But now, like, there's so much stuff, like I collect like a lot of people do, and I'm sat there, my backlog is just a joke. I've got so many games. I mean, in the Pokemon games, I'm making my way through Pearl, and I'm 4th or 5th gym leader on that. I've been playing through that. I've got Sapphire I need to finish. I've just started streaming again. And then Fire Red dropped the other week, so I've been streaming that, and I'm just about to hit the 2nd gym, Misty's gym. Resident Evil I've just finished. I did another stream of Resident Evil 4 Remake. I will eventually at some point go back and play the PS2 Resident Evil 2, the remake I bought physically on PS5. I've just picked up Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I've never played. So I've got that one to play after that. System Shock sat on there, Spider-Man 2, Power Rangers, which, if I'm honest, I didn't think it was a bad game, but I didn't think it was as good as the praise it was getting. Rita's Rewind, I thought. I didn't think the combat was as good as it could have been. The fighting on it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. The spikes, the difficulty, it was quite challenging at times. I don't know. I didn't find the Zord bits, and it's like a mixture of different genre of games. It's not a bad game, but I just didn't. I was a bit disappointed with it, if I'm honest. So I've got that. I've got so much stuff. I mean, and obviously again with the Pokemon stuff, the DS stuff I'm still collecting for, but I've still got another. I've got Black to play, and then obviously when I'm in the mood to try another Pokemon game. I've got White 2 and Black 2 whenever I pick that up at some point. And then obviously Soul Silver, Heart Gold when I pick that up. And then you tell me, would you pick up a game that's part of a collection knowing that you don't like it? Well, knowing that you didn't enjoy it the first time you played it. Because for Moon, that was what I felt. I didn't like the idea of no gym leaders in Moon. I didn't think it was particularly that much fun, honestly. So I'm starting to think, because there's also Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun on DS. And then there's that, I don't know why, but I bought Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, and is it Aria of Sorrows, I think it was. And god damn it. And I've obviously been ripping them to my 3DS micro SD card. I'm not going to get a first in this one, god damn it. So yeah, it you know, collecting and stuff can become quite going to get second place, aren't it? It can become quite tricky and quite challenging. Like, you know, you got to be careful the amount of money that you're wasting. Obviously, come on, no, we're not going to do it. I want to get second. Oh well, damn it. I've still got so many. I've got Silent Hill 2 sat on the shelf. I've not finished yet. You know, and that's just ridiculous. And that's like including like Mega Drive stuff that I've collected and stuff. So it's a lot. It really is a lot of stuff. And there was I had a chap comment on me about how we're sort of YouTubers and retro collectors. We're driving up prices, which I suppose to some degree we are. But I think your Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff like that, and others have kind of driven the prices up as well to some degree. But I mean, there is, as I said, and I said in another video, is that we're all susceptible to FOMO, myself included, and I've still do it even to this now. I bought was it Marvel Alliance on 360. I just got a standard version of the game, and everyone's it's really good. I jumped. I've got to try it. I picked it up, played it for about 20 minutes. I thought, this is the biggest heap of crap I've ever played. It's absolutely crap, and that's just my perspective. I'm sure someone that's younger might find it fun, but I played it and I just thought, what is this? It's terrible. Like, it's like Diablo, but like really, really bad. The combat mechanics are really janky. Obviously, it's an older game, which I can understand, and obviously, you know, everyone's opinion is different on something. But I just didn't like. I hated the combat. It was just really awful. I felt, but that's just me. You know, everyone's different when it comes to god damn it, stuff, and well, that's completely thrown me off my game. Thank you for that. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, I just didn't like it. So straight away, I put it up with a lot of original Xbox games, which, to be honest, I looked at I'm not playing these. I'm never going to play these. So I sold the lot, basically. It was a job lot of games I got with that auction lot, and I started thinking, I'm never going to play these. So, you know, there comes a point where you got to sort of say to yourself that enough's enough. You're just wasting money now. This is not going to be a win for me. This one, I don't think somehow. But yeah, you deserve that. But but I see you have to be careful of that kind of stuff. I know my original intent was to talk about Mario Kart, but I generally trying to think what else I can actually say about Mario Kart that you're not seeing on the screen. Obviously, the Mario Kart and the DS games are pretty decent. The one that's on there, I think, is it, or is that the Game Boy Advance? I know there's one called Super Sick. That might be the Game Boy Advance one I'm thinking of, to be honest. But yeah, so there comes a point with like the whole FOMO thing, where you have to be kind of careful. The things you are actually going to buy, you're actually going to play, because then otherwise it just becomes a needless waste of money. And if I'm honest with myself, like, I'm getting a Switch 2 this early, because I know there's a revision coming, because the EU, and I imagine the UK as well, is talking about forcing companies to... Oh, damn it. I keep losing the signal for some reason. It's forcing companies to put replacement. You can take the batteries out, which I think is a good idea because I hate that with the phone. I hate it. Like the idea that I can't. Why do you keep dropping the signal? Stop it. Oh, is that because my computer's idling? It might be. Yeah, I didn't like I don't like the idea that you can't take the batteries out. You should be able to replace the batteries. You used to be able to do it on all the up until about the Galaxy S10s, and then these phone companies decided to get rid of that, the ability to do that, which I think is just plain wrong. But as I said, I did a video a few years back, and I had a bad experience with Nintendo's. I guess you could say their service thing. I sent my Switch in because the screen was coming off at the top, and they said, "Oh, we're not touching it, mate." I was like, well, "Why?" "Oh, it's tampered with." I was like, "It's never been touched. I've never ever opened it. It's never been opened." And they said, "Oh, you've got a fan. You've got a screw missing on the heatsink." I was like, well, "You've opened it." I said, "I've never touched it. I bought it off Amazon. I've never touched it." And they said, "No, we're not going to touch it, mate." I was like, "Oh, okay, charming." So I wasn't impressed with that. But then again, saying that, I had the same experience with Sony. My DualSense controller, as I did a video on a while back. I think it stopped working. I dropped it, and that's on me. But and it wouldn't work. It just didn't work anymore. I was like, what the hell? So, and then one day I went to check it to send it in, and I put the serial number in it, and they said, "No, we don't do repairs or fixes for controllers." I was like, I'm sure legally you have to. I'm sure there's, but maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe it's just on even the system itself. They may not even do that. I was like, surely that's illegal. But I don't know, honestly. If I can get first, I can pull it back, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. No, this rubber banding is kicking my ass. Come on. We're not going to do it, are we? We're not going to do it. Come on. No, we've lost. Spin it. There you go. Not getting me with that, not happening. Oh, no. Come on. We get second. Hey, we got second. This game is really, really good, and I've ranted and raved on for a while now about just random stuff. Oh, we're tied at 30 points each. Oh, no, we're not. Have I got a chance for one more race? No, I haven't. Damn it. This, though, I'm pretty sure this is based on Mario Sunshine, isn't it? Looking at the character models and stuff. Which is a game I've had for years and never... No, I played it once. It's Mario Sunshine's one that's... Some people love it. I wasn't that keen on the water mechanics of it. Like, there was something about it. But I haven't, again, really honestly given it a chance to sort of play through it more as such. I had to buy a memory card for this recently as well because I'd run out of points on it. Did I not unlock anything for that? I didn't get any carts or anything, no? Right, okay, so Mario Kart Double Dash. Oh, is this cut out? When did